He's hosted his own radio shows, written 3 books. He's an international medical expert that's been called on by all the major TV networks. And now, he's on the air right here in South Florida. It's Dr. Mitch with Look Good, Feel Good, and Have Great Sex on News Talk 850 WFTL.
All right, so let's talk to Becky because you're annoying me. You were away in Panama.
I was.
Wait, Doc, I'm annoying you? Oh, I'm sorry. I turned his microphone off.
No more doing that because then we may have to replace you with someone more skilled, a monkey. Anyway, you were away in Panama, and you chose to go abroad for having a baby situation because in vitro fertilization was not effective here. You went away to a, like I call them, MedVacation. It's not really a vacation. You're going for a medical situation. You weren't on vacation there in Panama.
Right.
So how was the experience? I guess that would be the first thing. Did anyone speak English, or you have to speak Spanish, or what?
No, I was very glad, though, that I had MedVacation as the intermediary to the clinic itself because the doctors were trained here.
Right.
So their English was fantastic. As for the staff, I was able to point to the important parts of my body, one in particular, so everyone understood everyone. But having the CEO of MedVacation there for me, and I'm talking 2-3 times a day, I'm a high maintenance girl, was very helpful because I did need some, not even a translation.
Who is this? Is this our Taras Bulba character?
That is our Taras.
Oh, yeah, the Russian Cossack.
Yes.
I call him Taras Bulba.
That's
I think that was
very
a good
nice.
That was a good movie. He's a very nice guy. I did talk to him. So you went there. They did the procedure. Or are we going to talk about the procedure a little bit, or you don't want to do that?
No, we can talk about the procedure because the depth of the procedure is why I actually went away. We had done in vitro here 3 times and had to stop twice and failed the other time because I was no longer producing eggs. So we chose to go the donor route, which is becoming more and more common, and it's not talked about as much, but it should be.
Right.
And it was very expensive here. It was like $28,000 here. And eventually, the money stops falling off the money tree to get these things done.
Right.
It doesn't really cost the doctors that much to do it, but supply and demand.
So you basically had a procedure that was not insurance covered, so
not
that
at
folks
all.
understand.
Not at all. And it cost like 50 to 60% less to have it done through MedVacation out of the United States.
And having here.
In a facility that was just as nice, if not nicer, than when I had it here.
What do you mean, like nice, just as nice? Was it clean?
When it clean and pretty, which is very important, but when it comes to state-of-the-art, they had a state-of-the-art GE ultrasound machine that they used. Okay. My procedure was done at an affiliate hospital of a hospital that is extremely well-known here in the U.S. It was done in a surgical suite, so I had to gown, and the doctors were, the surgical mask and the booties and everything else. Here it was not. And I'm not saying one way is right and the other way is not, but I have to tell you, I was extremely impressed.
They gave you a good show, and the nurses were nice. They took good care of you, and Taras Bulba.
And my hotel was nice.
The Cossack called you all the time, and he always called and checked in on you. And plus, it was a nice trip. All right, so the overall experience, 1 to 10, 1 being lousy, and I need to go strangle them. 10, you liked it and probably would maybe go for it for someone else. You would recommend it.
I'm going to recommend it. Honestly, I'm going to recommend it at a 9.5. And the only reason the other 0.5 would be missing is I would have liked for a few more people in the clinic to have spoken English. But I'm going to give it a 9.5, and I don't give points out lightly. Everything from the hotel to the facility, it was great. But one point that's really important that I want to make, and there's a reason that we're talking about this now, and not after I take a pregnancy test. And that's because I want to report on the experience. I understand, and women out there, whether it's your grandchildren or children or sisters or mothers that are experiencing infertility, they will know that even with a donor egg, there's only a 60 to 65% chance. Now, that is way better than with your own eggs when you're 40 years old. But it's not just about the outcome. It's also about the experience, because sometimes you need to do it a couple of times. And I wanted to be fair to the experience, to the physicians, and to MedVacation. So that's why we're talking about it now.
Okay. So, folks, we're reporting about a personal experience for Rebecca, of course, for the entire family, and trying to get pregnant by using a donor egg. Talking about the donor egg, did you get to meet this young donor?
I did not. Customarily, you cannot. Sometimes you can. I did not. I have her picture.
And the background.
Yeah, and her genetic background, her family tree.
Okay, so I'm going to have a cute little gorgeous Hispanic grandchild probably, and speaking total Spanish coming out.
That will speak fluent Hebrew thanks to you.
Papi, ¿cómo estás? Okay, so that's a good thing. And that's wonderful. And I'm sure she was very pretty and nice, and you picked a nice person.
I thought she was cute.
Okay, that's all that matters. And the most important thing, that you're healthy. So we're at the point now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give my own point scale from listening to you. I'm going to say now it's about a 7.2. Now, I'll tell you why.
Sure.
Because to me, efficacy is also important. So I'm waiting to hear the efficacy component, and if this takes and works and I have a healthy grandchild, I give him a 25 on a scale of 1 to 10. And then my Cossack friend and myself will become real good buddies. How's that?
So, you know what? I think that sounds fair from a grandfather's perspective.
I think it's only fair because I'm worried about your health. I'm glad the experience was good. I'm glad you felt it was clean. You came back. You look great. So, because there are people that are testing the waters in this today in lots of areas, by the way.
Yeah.
MedVacations and med places, things out of the U.S. With the increasing healthcare costs, people are testing the waters. They're going to India for an operation that's maybe 20, 30,000 to come to India for 2 or 3.
But you need to be so careful.
The flight, you don't know where you're going. And listen, to tell you the truth, I would have been quite concerned about Panama too. I was originally. I was concerned until you came back and tell me it's still not the U.S. But anywhere, it can be really good if the people involved want to make it that way. So I like it. Criticism on the scale of on our scale, more English-speaking people to help out. I think Taras, being a nice guy that he is, can probably fess that up for the next group of people that end up there. Wow. Good show. Thank you for letting me know. Well, you're listening to Dr. Mitch. Board's open, and it is an integrative show. It allows you to call in, make your questions and comments to us if you choose. We're talking about lots of different things today.
When you hear South...
You have 100 trillion cells in your body, and every second they do 868 trillion chemical reactions. The doctor who can simplify it all is Dr. Mitch. It's time for Look Good, Feel Good, and Have Great Sex on News Talk 850 WFTL.
Welcome back to the Dr. Mitch Show. We're so pleased to have you here with us. I'm ignoring the fact that my father is dancing next to me. And we'll give you the phone number again, 877-850-8585.
I'm just grabbing my groin and walking backwards. That's
and
all.
I'm severely traumatized. I'm gonna be with Bill in the PTSD department.
I don't know. I think I look pretty cute too. Maybe not as good as Michael could do it when he was around, but hey, I'm doing it. All right. So your buddy's on the line from MedVacation. Let's talk to the Kazakh that I call him, Taras. Welcome. How are you?
Dr. Mitch, hello. Rebecca, hello. I am excellent. How are you?
I'm doing good. Did you like the things we said about you today?
Absolutely. And, my ears were burning when you were talking about your favorite Cossack. I certainly hope that I will become one once we, make your dream come true and Rebecca becomes a mom.
Yeah, that's true. And if we don't, I call ICE and have you deported next week. I'm telling you.
Nice.
I'm already a U.S. citizen. It's hard to deport me.
I'm watching you, man. I'm watching you. No, thank you
I know I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the pressure, but I think we're up to the test.
I think you are, too. And I want to thank you a tremendous amount. We spoke several times prior to my daughter going. Being concerned father and physician, it was important to me. And, of course, the fact that she comes back with such a glowing report. I'd never heard my daughter give anyone 9.5. As a matter of fact, when I said on a scale of 1 to 10, right before she got married, what's your husband? She gave him a 6.2. And I thought that was a lot. So you obviously rate over there, and I'm glad to hear it. And we thank you so much. We're going to be talking about this. We're watching this whole program. And I told you we're going to call this the way we see it. So far, it looks good. God willing, next week we'll have some really great news to tell everyone, and then we'll have a Name the Baby contest. I think that would be kind of cool. Name the Baby contest, and whoever wins. We'll come up with something. Maybe something. Go see Taras in Denver or something. Okay.
Or middle name Tars, right?
Yeah, the middle. I'm going to name my little kid name my grandchild's middle name Taras. Okay, and I'd like
That's
you.
Right. That's
yeah,
right.
that sounds real good. I think I'd do it. Well, from Russian descent, why not? And I thank you so much for everything you're doing and all the great care you gave to my daughter. We certainly appreciate that. We're going to be watching this very carefully for. And it's the name of your company's called MedVacation, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, we're watching you closely, and I'm glad you're listening to the show, because then we'll teach you something you can use over there, too. Cool.
Actually, I'm already hooked up on the show, and, before I hang up, I actually wanted to tell Rebecca that we truly value yours and your husband's trust in us and our clinic, and truly appreciate giving us a chance to assist you with such important things like fertility treatments. And, again, we're keeping our fingers crossed and hope that everything goes well and you will become parents.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We do, too, because lots of my patients work for immigration. Talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Good talking to you.
Same here,
Bye-bye.
Tyrus. Thank you. Listening to the Dr. Mitch Show, 877-850-8585. Again, 877-850-8585. Let's go again to the board here and say hello to Tony from Boca. Hi, Tony.